That's over. This is it.
This is it. There is absolutely nothing here. There is nothing here.
I'm just curious to see Nihal's first move after d4.
Well, we see another modern. But the difference here is that Wesley can potentially approach this in a different way, maybe not playing e4, and we see he plays g3, he shows his intention, and we'll see a sort of King's Indian setup now.
That's right, and Wesley So, he's kind of the king of the draw when he needs one. He's so difficult to beat. And look at this, c5, spicing things up early. Is Nihal Sarin trying to open up that bishop on g7?
On the other hand, this is the best position that he's had from the opening in the entire match. I mean, he is better with black, and he has never been worse in this game. Maybe at some point he was a bit worse, but it was an unclear state. But yeah, Wesley didn't really play this very well. It feels like he just doesn't want to take responsible decisions, but at some point you just have to make responsible decisions. And like a5, b5, Wesley was forced to do that. And this is a structural change, which is potentially rather difficult for White in the long term.
You know, hate the word draw, but that is something that Nihal Sarin wants to avoid like snakes on a plane. There is no Samuel L. Jackson coming to save the day. If you're Nihal, you have to somehow go after this pawn. And if the pawn keeps pushing, that means it's closer to the black pieces. h5 played by Nihal, f3 will just kick this knight out of here, and I think it's about time, Fabi, to boot that knight.
Yeah, you could play f3. You could bring the knight back to d3 to potentially go to f4 and put some pressure on black's h-pawn. Already, I would slightly prefer white because that h5 pawn is a bit more of a weakness that can be attacked. Of course, we're still talking about you know, the dreaded 0-0-0 that the engine shows with almost any move. Well, I think what we might see is after knight takes e5, probably the trade of knights, and then a scenario where if white just gets rid of black's last e-pawn, it doesn't even matter if he loses the remainder of his pieces, because famously the bishop and the h-pawn do not win because the bishop is not on the right colored square. That would we say. If it was a light squared bishop, of course, that would win. But yeah, we just see a complete trade and king against king, fighting to the bare kings and a draw.
And a draw is in the books. That is good news for Wesley So as he tries to make fetch happen and fetch $200,000 first place prize. We see him walking off the board, the computer there, and now he's going to go to the player area where he is going to take a deep breath as he leads now 3.5 to 1 now, Fabi.
Is it too little too late, or is Nihal feeling a little bit of momentum right now?
Yeah, they know momentum. This thing is done, bro. It's just, in fact, a shout out to Big Flex Hess, right? When he came with the movie references, right? Mine is the Neo. He's like one. He's the Matrix, right? He's literally the one right now. It reminds me of the scene, right, when like Neo got shot and then he's like, oh, he's dead, but he woke up and then he started doing this, like blocking everything with one arm. That's how it feels like, Wesley. You just can't hit him. You can't even do anything to him right now. And he's like a game away from clinching the whole thing.
Now, I called for a Nimso Indian. Are we going to get the move 3 knight c3?
No, we're going to get a repeat of the move he played against Anish, bishop f4 on the board. Do you think Wesley prepared for that?
Yeah, he did. I mean,
they're repeating it.
And they're repeating.
Oh, look how quickly he took with the queen. That was a statement move.
That was a statement move. And if we just, I'm just going to very, very quickly show off to the move knight d2. This is the move that has been played many, many times. That's not on the board right now. The queen took and then went straight back, and Wesley's like, thanks, man. I'm up a pawn after 8 moves.
Yeah, what you got? And most importantly, Anish took c takes d4. Later on, Nihal pushed his pawn to e5, which he does now as well.
Yep, I don't even know where they are.
By the way, look at the king g8. Look at how he's using his king. King g7 to h8 to g. Triangulation in the middle game.
And the reason that black is not taking, despite actually occupying this square more than any other on the board, is because there are tactics, right? There's tactics onto this queen. There are tactics on the d file as well. At the end, the bishop could get pinned to the rook. And there's no reason to even get into any of that.
No, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. If you had taken twice, queen d3 would have won the piece. Another accurate move by Wesley.
That was the best move.
That was the best move. It chases the bishop out of f4. Nihal has his back against the wall. If you have to play bishop h2, oh my God, Levy, at that point...
H6 played, he's sacrificing the bishop.
No, but he can just take it, and the knight defends g7, and you can't take the knight because the rook takes on d1 with check. G takes f4 wins the game for Wesley.
Yep. All
G takes f4 is over.
G takes f4, king slides over, and that's it. There's no queen g7. It's a blunder of a bishop, or I don't know, maybe just a failed sacrifice. But this, we might be looking at the final moves of the Chess.com Global Championship right here.
There we go. Nihal with the final bluff. Wesley does not buy it. G takes f4, and the last gasps for Nihal Sarin. You can just see it on Wesley's face. He knows it. Nihal knows it. The game is over.
Wesley breathes a sigh of relief as he's now just up a bishop. He's not up a pawn anymore.
Zero compensation. On the next move, he's taking that knight off the board immediately. Get out of there. Nihal grabs his head.
Oh my god.
And it's
what a
not just
sight.
this game that's flying over his
No.
mind. It's the entire match.
No, it's the entire match. He did not play like himself the past few days. He's deciding whether to hit the resign button or make a few more moves.
Yeah.
We'll see what he decides.
Well, he's got 30 seconds to make that decision. I think he might throw in a check on G4, hope for a mouse slip. King H8 does get mated.
Yes, King H8 is made in 1.
Yep, he does it. King F8. Instantly, the response by Wesley. Got 2 minutes on the clock. That's over. This is it.
This is it. There is
Oh
absolutely
my
nothing
gosh.
here. There is nothing here.
Oh, the top engine move is knight takes F5, just giving away an entire rook and then a knight.
Yeah, that's not going to happen as time is ticking. Nihal just thinking what went wrong.
The final seconds of the 2022 CGC, the inaugural edition, happening right now. Okay, he takes on D1, but now it's just a full extra bishop for Wesley.
Yeah, we might get a queen D3 or a queen D5.
Yeah, queen takes C5. I think you can just collect.
Yep. Collect the pawn, defend everything. No back rank checkmate. Wesley enjoying himself. A sigh of relief as he knows that he just won $200,000.
Not quite yet. He's a couple moves away.
Okay.
Queen takes C5, queen D7 is Nihal's idea, by the way.
I don't know. Queen E6.
Okay. Yeah. And Wesley has the luxury of just chilling out. He can take his time.
Yeah, he's up a lot. Let's put it this way. And
But 100K is on the line this game. Can you
That's
imagine that? In the next couple of moves, he can
not for
make
Wesley.
or break.
Not for Wesley.
Not for Wesley, true.
Not for Wesley, but
Wow.
yeah.
He's taking his time here on queen takes C5. I think he's trying to find a suitable response to queen D7.
Give a check. He might
Queen
just
E6.
move his bishop. There are ways to blunder, yes, but even if you hang the bishop, you might still be in good shape, but he's not going to do that.
I think the surgical way is queen E1 check and then queen back to E6 in order to eliminate the H6 pawn with check. And once that pawn's gone, then the king is safe for life.
Yes, queen E1 check. It's a very common technique. I like to call it the boomerang. You go
Ooh.
up, you check, and he plays queen D6, also reasonable. He will block the check with the bishop. The king gets some air. You can probably even take on H6.
You can. You're up so many pawns in addition to your extra bishop. I mean, he's also up a pawn at this point.
And the only reason Wesley's not playing moves instantly is because he has 115 on the clock, and he just doesn't want to mess anything up.
Yeah, this is a great lesson for anyone watching. Even the greatest in the world in a completely winning position, they take their time, they slow it down, they make sure that every move counts. And the bishop, I think, is going to swing over to B6, attacking F2, and then the queen can pile up on F2, and you don't really care about the B7 pawn. You're fine giving it away.
You do not.
But Wesley doesn't.
Oh, queen B6 on the board. He's gone below a minute, making it mildly exciting. The only thing Wesley So can blunder here is a perpetual check.
Yep.
That is it. And that's even that is fine with him.
And even that is very hard to blunder.
Yes, that is except like blunder.
That's it.
And that's it.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. The headphones are taken off for the last time. Wesley So. Wesley So is our champion of the 2022 Chess.com Global Championship here in Toronto. All smiles as Wesley takes the first CGC title and the $200,000 first prize. Levy, what a moment.
What a moment indeed. Wesley So, we see there holding the 24-carat 50-pound trophy. That may or may not be accurate. Massive congratulations to him. He has been lights out the past 2 matches.
I don't know if anybody has ever deserved a victory more than Wesley deserves the CGC title. Let's review our final score. He wins with a dominant score of 4.5, 1.5. It was basically a wire-to-wire victory, Levy.
Yeah, it was.